Do people have... Wait, hold on. Can you guys hear me right now? Just curious. Anyone in the chat?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm just wondering if people in the chat can hear me, because I have the stream starting soon, and it was doing this thing where they could hear us talk.
M&M Direct. So much cheaper than the high street, with about up to 75% off. Loads of top brand sports and fashion gear.
We're still
trainers.
Hi, Kelly.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, how are you? Okay, so
Are you feeling better? Are you feeling better?
I feel like crap, but it's all good. It's
You
good.
put on a good act.
I put on a good act.
Michael Johnson. I'm Roshan.
No, I mean, like, my ankles are swollen. I look like I have cankles now, and I've never had cankles.
Yep, and it's just
I had ankles when I was pregnant with my second daughter.
Really? Never had that.
God. I remember I had these Birkenstocks, and double straps, my feet puffing through the straps.
Offering free consults, downloads, videos, and advice.
Okay, there's some kind of a... Somebody needs to, like, mute something. Can we hear you, Veg? I no longer see that your microphone is turned off. Can we hear you? Talk to me.
Oh wait, I need to.
There's some kind of a...
Hello.
Is... Somebody needs, like, mute something. Can we hear you, Veg? I no longer see that your microphone is turned off. I'm saying it. Hard to hear over. Okay, so they can still hear us over music, so I still have that issue. We're gonna fix that. However, I just want to know if I can hear Veg, because I know I can hear everybody else. Veg, talk to me.
Sorry about the music, that was me.
Okay. Veg, can I hear you? Talk to me. What's going on?
I think Veg has his, I don't think his audio is working.
There's something going on with your audio, Veg. Keep working on it, but we're gonna get started. So, yeah. Freak. I love this life.
Yeah, I like it.
Are we on the air yet?
We will be in
No, not yet.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're really here. I know you heard us anyway, because I don't know what the hell's going on with everything. Veg is still working out his sound, so we're going to get that figured out. In the meantime, we'll just give him some time to figure it out. We have Raza. Let me close off that. We have Raza, and we have Brian Ramirez, Brom, Kelly Lane, and Veggiematics. Wait, did we hear you, Veg?
I think you can.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yay! Oh
Hey!
my God! Thank God!
Sounds like it works.
We got it figured out. Thank goodness! Thank goodness! So let's say hello to people in the chat so we can get going. Kim Centeno is here. Donna Zek, that's a new person. Welcome very much to our channel. Welcome to the fam. Boiled Rote Lamppost. Yeah, I know it's weird. I'm trying to get everything after my computer reset and did an update. It messed all my settings up. So I'm sorry. It's messed up. I'm not a techie person. Moose Gal, hello. Yeah, I know things suck. Dave, Independent Outsider, is gonna join us later. He has some things to talk about. Anthony Davis, what's up with you? Rich Diana, thank you for sending me good wishes. I need all that I can get at the moment. Gazar is here. Kim, has everyone hit the like button? Please, everyone, hit the like button for me because that helps a lot. Dee Dee Sunbeam, hello. Who else? Who am I missing? Book Hermit. Always, Book Hermit. I heard you got in trouble on Black Bear News Channel. I don't know what's going on there. CB Angsley, hello, buddy. Julie Love is here. Who else am I missing? Channel Warhorse. Big hearts. Kevin Hester. Hey team, bring it on. Okay, Veg disappeared. Dang it. Kevin, you know you're always welcome to join us. I'll give you a link if you want to hop on. Because Kevin Hester's pretty awesome. And I'm behind the curve on what's going on the nature bat slash stuff. I've been just researching like medications I have to take, and they put me on that hydrochloroquine, or I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's Plaquenil,
Yeah, I'm just a little.
otherwise also known as Plaquenil.
Okay, well, yeah, that was one of my new
Anti-malarial.
prescriptions for my autoimmune, and kind of freaked
Yeah.
out. And like I am always a really fairly I'm not optimistic as far as what the people are doing to the planet, but I'm optimistic, generally in a good mood, not depressed. Something is causing me depression that I'm taking, and I don't know which.
Are you taking steroid stuff for any autoimmune things?
I have taken the steroids for a severe bout of costochondritis, but
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause
taking
they
them
can do
at the
that.
moment. No, I haven't taken them for over
Okay.
a week.
Steroid can do that.
Oh.
So can just being stuck in the house all the time.
I'm not
Yes,
stuck in the
no
house all
kidding.
the time, though.
Oh, yeah, you're outside a lot.
I see this, Tian. I'm not inside a lot.
Yeah.
I like to be outside, and that makes me happy.
Now, how long have you been taking the Plaquenil, the hydroxychloroquine?
Actually, I haven't started that one yet.
Oh, okay. If it makes you nauseous, talk to me. Oh,
Okay, I absolutely will. Now Veggiematics coming back in. No, I'm supposed to wait until I have this right and left heart catheterization to find out whether I have pulmonary hypertension or pulmonary arterial hypertension. But this show is not about me. This is
sure it is. Yes, it is.
really not about me. Thank you,
I'm just-
Feeder Monkey. You really, guys, you really don't need to donate. Because at this point, well, it depends on if my disability goes through or not. But if it does, all it does is like they'll just take that amount from me. So, but if they do deny me, I guess that would help. I guess I don't know. But yeah, I have to report any income I make, and they'll just deduct that from what they're going to pay me on my disability. So, I'm
That sucks.
trying to be optimistic that I'm gonna qualify. And that's why you pay into it, right? And I definitely should qualify. My job just let me go in case you missed the last episode of my crazy life.
Oh no.
I lost my job because they can no longer what did they call it? Accommodate my time off. So
Jeez.
Okay.
yay, fun stuff. And I ran out of short-term disability, so I'm currently not making any money at all. So fun stuff.
I guess you're like 50% of the population down there, from what I hear. Nobody has any money.
Right, like, I mean, I gotta feel pretty lucky. At least my husband has a job and making money still, you know.
Right. You said down there. Are you in Canada?
Yes, I'm in Canada.
Oh, I'm a half Canadian.
Oh, which half?
Ontario.
Ontario. I'm living in Ontario right now. I'm originally
Aw.
from Montreal, but I'm living
Oh,
in
where
London.
in Ontario?
London.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's further south. My mother was born in Peterborough, which is about
Oh, yeah.
2 hours north of Toronto, yeah. And then my family lived north of that, so way out in the middle of nowhere.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm heading next year, way out in the middle of nowhere.
It's really pretty, just cold,
Yeah.
if you can handle it.
I hate the heat. I don't mind the cold one bit. So I'm planning to leave London next year and go up Northern Ontario, buy a house up there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Opposite of you. Sorry, Kevin. I can't. Kevin can't make it on today, but maybe next time.
I've really only driven through London a lot of times because my family was from Detroit and Peterborough, Canada.
You're not
side.
missing much driving
No,
past
no, I
London.
remember.
You're really not. I call it the armpit of Canada. So
Well, coming from Detroit, it's kind of not much difference.
Okay, so people, what's going on in the world outside of my crazy little life? Anything that stuck out with you in the news? And I would love for you guys to do a headline or headline, and you don't have to. You don't. I wouldn't know. And I want people to guess, including us, if it's a headline or a headline. So, anybody have one?
I have one.
Okay, go for it.
Headline or headline?
Whatever you want.
It's a head. It's my question. Is this a headline or is this a headline?
Right.
Biden just approved to add Bernie's platform to his. Is that a headline or a headline?
I don't know. What do you
Headline,
guys
definitely.
think? Because I'm like,
It's gotta
yeah,
be a lot.
headline. Absolutely a headline.
Yeah.
Hugs back to you, Moose Gal. That's
Yeah,
definitely
that's
a headline.
never going to happen.
Absolutely. Okay. Raza or Veg, do you have a headline or headline?
I have one.
Okay.
Right. First of all, I'd like to say hi to Kelly and to Brian and to Veg.
Hello.
And
Hello.
nice to see you again, Kelly. Yeah. My headline is headline.
Headline or
Is-
headline?
Okay. Yeah. Donald Trump read a book.
definitely a headline.
No, I've heard rumors that he's actually has a copy of
Lady Chatterley's Lover.
something.
Hitler's speeches.
Like hit one of Hitler's books.
Yeah.
Oh, mine. Yeah, mine.
in his
too.
bedside. So,
Right.
so I
Mine-
think that's probably a headline. I think.
There was a picture of him today with a bundle of newspapers under his arm, and they think that he did it just to prove that he can read. So I don't really believe it.
I
It
don't
was
believe he can read
prop.
either.
It was a prop, you know.
It could be definitely a prop. Because
Like
he's
that
not
Bible.
very bright.
He used that Bible as a prop, no?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Aw, hugs back to you, Miss Gal. Thank you. Pat the Batman
Okay.
fan. That's a fucking
You're the
lie. We should be asking. I mean, I should really stop and read what everybody else here thinks of this. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Ricardo the Lionhearted is in the house. Thank you for coming. Who else am I missing? Pat the Batman fan is there. Hi, Pat. I sent you a link. Why aren't you here? Dude, come on. Feeder Monkey, maybe he was checking the job listing. Well, he is way behind in the polls. But I'm not super optimistic about either one of them winning office or happy about
I don't
either
trust
one
the
of them.
polls for a second.
Oh, I don't trust the polls, and I also don't really freaking care at this point. We need to just get in the street and fight over issues, not over
I also
right or
think
left.
in this climate that not a lot of people are going to actually admit if they want to vote if they're going to vote for Trump. I mean, we heard this last time that people
Yeah.
it was sort of hidden because people didn't want to answer the pollsters truthfully and say that because they would get flogged or something, right? Well, I mean, this climate now, I think people they hide that.
They're loud and proud here. My neighbor has a Trump flag waving on his house.
Well, yeah, there's that type, but I'm saying I think there are some of these kind of more middle of the road people that are still going to lean that way, and they may not be very vocal about it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but
I mean, remember,
they
I live in
didn't
the
give us
Southeast.
anything to vote for, so how can you blame them?
True.
Like, they really didn't give us anything to vote for. Moose Gal says,
and-
headline, coronavirus forces 100,000 New York small businesses to close permanently.
Gee.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
That's the headline.
Headline.
For sure. But she already
And
gave it away.
Raza?
She said headline. You're not supposed to give it away, Moose Gal. You don't give it away. You just say headline or headline. But I'm pretty sure that's true. Yeah, I guess Pat's in the car. But if he can join us later, that's cool. Tulsi
Raza,
still
where
has
are
a
you?
chance. You think Tulsi still has a chance? Kevin? Serious? Kevin Sandholzer? I wish. If she was on the ballot, I'd probably vote for her. If she was on the ballot.
Yeah.
Even though
Kelly
she
was
endorsed
asking-
Biden, which pissed me off really bad.
Yeah.
So,
Surely, even Biden is marginally better than Trump. I would think. I mean, at least he's not technically a fascist, but and maybe he's moved a little to the left. Who knows? But at this point, I think that if Trump is reelected somehow manages to hold on to it, I'm afraid it's the end of any sort of democracy.
I think
It
we've
just-
already lost our democracy.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think our democracy has was ended quite a long time ago.
That's what I'm saying.
We are living in basically a fallacy of a democracy.
Well,
Our votes really don't mean anything and haven't for quite a long time. To think that Trump is going to suddenly end democracy as we know it is not to fully understand the situation that we're already in.
well, what about his
Biden
his
is not in
stormtrooper? What about Trump's stormtroopers? I mean, this is
How did those come about? They came about because of rules that Obama actually put into place. Trump
I
is
realize
just using
that.
them.
yeah. I realized.
Neoliberals like Biden will do the things that Republicans can never get done. It took Obama to create the drone strike program. It took Obama to make the Bush tax cuts permanent. It took Obama to let off Wall Street. These are not things that Republicans could have gotten done. It required a Democrat to do these.
Because they'll smile at you.
The
They'll
best
smile
stuff
at you and
that
tell you
That's exactly it.
the best
That's
things
exactly
that
it.
happen for liberals happens during a Republican regime. The best things for
It's actually,
Republicans
that does tend to be true.
during
No, that does
a
tend to be true.
Democratic regime.
There was a great segment on RT the other night. I didn't catch the name. I think it was led by Chris Hedges, but there were a lot of great people on it. Cornel West was on. But they were talking about in the Clinton years the same thing that my favorite book, Thomas Frank's
And
book,
my-
Listen Liberal, says is that Bill Clinton got all of this stuff pushed through, NAFTA and all these things
all
that
the horrible
Republicans
things.
could only
That the
dream
Republicans
of
couldn't do. Yeah.
because
and
everybody's like,
Biden's crime bill.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
94,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was the beginning of mass incarceration.
Yeah,
Now the
that was it.
Republicans
Yeah.
may not have got that through
No.
had it
Right.
been a Republican administration. You
The
may be right.
difference- The difference between the Democrats and the Republicans is really comes down to how the media treats both of them. The media will cover for the Democrat, and we won't usually hear about most of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes because our media works in tandem with them. The Republicans, on the other hand, get much harsher treatment by our media, and therefore we tend to pay more attention. Because we're paying more
except
attention.
for Fox.
There's
Except for Fox News.
Yeah,
But
if
even
you- and if
Fox
you-
News is starting to push towards
right.
more
What I'm saying is the
democratic
majority,
ideas. So there's
Right.
something going on here that's like
the majority of our mainstream
Well,
media
who
will
knows?
give the Democrat a pass, and that's been the main problem. Is that we don't actually have a media that is honest about what's really going on. So therefore, the information that we're getting is really just manufactured consent, and it has been for a very long time.
agreed.
Yeah, and I think this is the key to making people kind of wake up and see that it's one party, because a lot of
Right.
people still don't see
Right.
that, you know. That's really frustrating
They,
because
you
Julie
have,
Love,
you
I
have,
love what she says. She says, Carlin's right. If you vote for them, you're the problem.
right.
I love
Yeah.
that, Julie Love. I love
Yeah.
it. Love it, love it, love it. And my favorite joke was, I think it was Kim Centeno that said it. Said, I talk about Obama, but I don't want to drone on. That was the best. That was the best joke ever. If that wasn't you, whoever that was, I think it was Kim Centeno. I'm not entirely sure, but that was the best joke ever when we were talking about this.
That's pretty good.
It is. It's amazing. She should
Pretty
be
good.
comedic writer. Whoever wrote that one, I didn't want to drone on. The biggest droner was Obama. Oh my
so
god.
hey, Raza, I think you got cut off last time. Where are you in England? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in London.
Oh, okay, in London. Well, good to see you again. Hopefully your internet will stay.
Yeah,
as-
it's wonderful to see you. I just wanted to kind of fill in about the weather here. We've been having record-breaking heat wave.
You too,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And Friday we're going to be up to about 35.
I don't know what
wow.
that is in Fahrenheit. What is that in Fahrenheit?
Whoa, that's hot.
Something?
It's about 112 to 115, something
No.
like that, roughly.
Yeah, about 100. Yeah.
It is?
Oh, that's not that hot. Crap. It's been 104, 105 here, and that's what they say it is anyway. When you go look at my
Okay, I'm
thermometer
wrong.
I
It's about-
have
it's
in the
about-
shade, it says 120.
It's about 95.
This is
It's not
London.
about 95 Fahrenheit.
This is
is what
the fog
35.
I
capital
have
of the world.
nothing. Except for unless you have a lot of humidity, and then that's something.
Oh, I've got a great deal
We're
of
dry.
humidity.
It's a dry heat here, so it's not quite as bad.
Humidity is good for the soul.
Huh?
Yeah, humidity makes it seem a lot hotter.
Yeah, it definitely does, for sure. Steely
Well, the cold-
Steve, post office needs to turn a profit. They say Pentagon doesn't turn a profit. They just take and take and take and take and take. I know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Do you guys? Is anyone really aware? Maybe you guys know more about it. The post office thing. They say they're going broke. Oh, Jeremy V.
No, the post office isn't going broke. I used to work for the post office. The problem is that the post office continues to get ripped off.
Well, they have to fund pensions for 75 years, from what I understand.
Right,
And
which is-
nobody
gonna-
else has to do that.
They're going
Is
to
the
try to
only
get out of
government
that.
institution
I'm
that
sure
has
they
to
are.
do that. It's the only one that has to do that.
Yeah.
And that was implemented in order to cripple them.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're trying to cripple anything that would help the average worker.
Right.
And so any city worker, like my husband, he works for Salt Lake City Department of Airports. When the airports, because of the viruses, when they start to shut down, do you think he's still going to get his pension? Because I'm a little skeptical that he's going to get his pension.
I mean, imagine what would happen if they told Congress they had to do that.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
you don't
what
get
would
a
happen
pension anymore.
If they told
And they
Congress,
are
I'm
fined.
sorry, you're going to have to come up with the money to cover your pensions for the next 75 years. Imagine what Congress would do if they were hit with that.
They should be on the same programs every average American is on.
Absolutely, they should be. Absolutely, they should be.
They would bet. I mean, they would definitely vote better if they were, and that should be mandatory.
But that's actually the problem. Most of them are multimillionaires, if not
And
billionaires.
they got
There are
that
quite a
way
few of them.
in office.
In office. Yeah.
Yes.
There's
And
crookedness.
where
when
does the
that
money come from? I mean, where do they get all that money? Why they come in and they're maybe a millionaire and they leave and they've got $50 million, or $100
Could
million.
be the
or whatever.
corporations
because-
pushing
it's
their
because-
agenda.
Yeah, it could be.
Our election system is so entirely corrupt at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous. The way that they are able to funnel dark money into their campaigns and not have to really account for it it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. it's a Ponzi scheme in many ways.
It
Well,
absolutely
that was the
is.
Citizens United ruling that did that, as far as I know.
It's what basically weaponized it, but there were things that were already pretty bad that just weaponized it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to catch up with some
I mean,
comments.
why have we allowed lobbyists? And we've had lobbyists for a very long time. The problem has been getting exponentially worse year after year. But I mean, we've had lobbyists for a very long time. What the hell are they there for?
The
Well, they can
lobbyists
fill-
they should not be allowed.
No, they
Lobbyists
shouldn't
are representing big corporations. They should not be allowed anywhere near our representatives. The
Right.
only people that should be near our representatives are the people that they are representing. That's where they should get their information from. They shouldn't have lobbyists whining and dining them.
Right.
It's our system is so screwed. We are so far away from an
incredibly corrupt.
actual democracy. It makes me laugh when people actually say we're a democracy. Go vote. Go vote. It's like, no, voting isn't. I mean, I've believed that for a little while.
Right now, voting is not the solution. Voting is not going to change anything at this point.
No.
It is going to take a mass movement of direct action and protest in order to get things changed. Voting is not the
Absolutely.
solution at this point.
But-
We are
but do
beyond
you-
that.
Do you see that mass movement coming about? Maybe now when people are out of work and
Yeah, I
they're
think as things continue to get worse and as evictions start to go through the roof, and the scariest thing to our establishment is an individual with nothing left to lose. Well, what happens if you have a whole mass of them?
Yeah, and there is going to be whole
And
mass
that's
of
what
them.
we're looking at.
It's
That's what we're looking
it's
at.
going to get there. It will get there, and I think the only way to keep that going is exactly what they're doing. But will anything change in time to save our fucking planet? Because it's not looking like it. And
Don't know at this point.
I'm
We
kind
No,
of
it's
We
too,
don't know.
it's,
We don't
we've
know at
passed
this
the point of no return.
yeah, we kind of have.
Yeah, we kind of have.
It would be nice if we could slow that freight train down, but at this point, it's looking like we are so screwed.
Yeah.
Well, you're
it's coming.
speeding it up, particularly under the Trump administration. You've got lobbyists in control of the EPA and in control of just about every department now.
Let's not forget that it was Citibank that picked Obama's cabinet.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Steely Steve says, when the judges become criminals, we have a problem. Feel free to read any comment that stands out to you. I try to catch as many as I can. But we got a lot of comments because we got a lot of people here. Remember to press the like button for me, please. That would be really nice. Those speeches, CB says, yeah, those speeches make them a lot of money. They're paid off after the fact with those speeches. Kim, Joe Love says, Kim, the essential services should be nonprofit. I honestly do think essential services should be nonprofit. I believe that there's this farmer guy. He's one of those people that believe in how it's going to get cold, not hot. It's like the mini ice age kind of thing. And he's like, you're not going to be able to farm and ranch. And I'm pretty sure he's taking that out of the thing where you want to break up big farms and divide them up and let more people work them and diversify and make it more permaculture instead of monoculture with chemicals and all of that. I'm pretty sure that that's what he's trying to fight against. I haven't actually taken the time to watch a show. I tried a couple of times and I'm like, you are up in the night, you dickhead, because he thinks there's going to be an ice age. It's like, can you really track data? Do you have that ability to track?
I didn't see that coming.
Oh my god, huh? You can see the ice age wait.
No, I don't see that coming.
It's like,
I'm not
oh
sure where
my
he's getting
god,
his
people
data
are
from.
crazy. How can you be that crazy to think that there's an ice age coming when we're breaking heat record after heat record after heat record after heat record? It's like, it's almost a daily occurrence now that we're breaking heat records. Yeah.
Well, it's gotten to the point where conspiracies and nonsense is given equal weight to any sort of
yeah,
facts.
that's why headlines and headlines
so-
is a thing, because
Yeah.
they're so close together, because it sounds so outrageous, the true headlines, that you can't tell the difference, because life is
So
that
what-
fucked up right now.
You've got millions of people following this Q, right? This Q conspiracy, and they believe this stuff that, you know, there's
Yeah,
all these.
it's really nutty.
I don't understand
Yeah.
Q. I don't. Okay, what were you going to say, Brian?
Well, the reason they're wrong about the whole freezing thing, I know where they're getting that from, but they're wrong, because what's going to happen is, as the sea rises, which we're already starting to see, sea level is starting to rise.
And the ice
What's
is
going
melting.
to happen is it's going to cover more land. Well, the land is what really helps to absorb the heat. Less land means, we're going to have more water coverage. More water coverage means there's going to be more heat.
Yeah, the
trapped
water absorbs
in the air.
and holds the heat in better or more
No,
efficiently than
but-
the land does.
I thought that was the reverse. I thought the land trapped heat better than the water does.
I
think
don't
the
know.
land traps
I'm not a
heat.
scientist.
I think the land traps.
I don't know.
I think the land traps heat
Don't
better.
quote me on that. I'm just
Because
thinking.
the water will tend to deflect it more, and it'll just get deflected back into the atmosphere, and that is what continues the heating cycle.
Okay.
So as there's more water coverage, the temperature will continue to go up.
Okay. I know it was something like that, but I'm not a freaking scientist. I just know that all the ice melting in the Arctic is a bad thing.
Yeah,
and
really
it's melting super fast right
Yeah.
now. Super, super fast. And
Yeah,
we
it's
may
really
have
bad.
a blue ocean event this year. There's
You
like
could.
a so far 25% chance, I think, is the last going south. I don't know where Torstein is, if he's in here today, but Torstein tracks it, and he gives updates on his channel and his community section of where the ice. He lives in Greenland, so he's kind of close up there by the ice, and he keeps really close track of it. So yeah, and he's also climatecrushtv.com or .tv. I always get it wrong, and he gets mad at me, but whatever. Just look up Climate Crush TV, and you should find it. Because he posts a lot of, environmental coffee house, Black Bear News, all the environmental channels he posts on his website. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, Gazar says London is forecasted to be a high of 32 C or nearly 90 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade Friday. Saturday, by 25 C, a mere 77 degrees Fahrenheit here in Yorkshire. That will do. Well, you're lucky 77 degrees. That sounds really nice after being in over 100-degree heat all week. That's where we've been. So
It just cooled down up here. Just today we got a thunderstorm, and now it's gone from about 30 degrees every day to 20. Translate into Fahrenheit. It's been so long since I used Fahrenheit. I guess probably gone from about 90 degrees to 75 to 70, something like that. So
that's beautiful. We had a thunderstorm, and it only got down to 95. And we have a cold front coming in, a dry cold front, and it's going to bring us clear down to 92.
whoa.
Oh,
Jeez.
Jesus. And this is not normal. We've broken record after record after record after record after record. So it's just, Zox is here. Hi, Zox. You don't think so? The ice extent is increasing a lot from where it was. I don't think that's right, Zox. 2 weeks ago, I was like, holy shit, the ice is low, but it's been going back up fast. Maybe the cyclone is causing misreadings. Yeah, but okay, if you're talking about extent, the extent may be longer, but it's thinner. And that's the worry. It's more the volume than the extent that you have to worry about. Does that make sense? Maybe.
I
Oh,
think so.
Torstein is here. Torstein's here. Someday Torstein will come on with us. That would be awesomeness. Oh, guess who's probably going to be on Women's Wednesday? The Dames of Doom might be hosting someone really cool. I'm hoping, crossing fingers. I haven't got confirmation yet, but I think
Was she on Environmental Coffee House?
Well, Sandy's always welcome on my show. And she
No,
comes
no,
and-
no, no. I mean, as a guest.
No.
No, okay.
No, we're gonna host a guy. The Dames of Doom are gonna host Graham Elwood, if he agrees. I'm sorry. I like to bring these more mainstream, not so doomy people onto the channel and just test the waters with them a little bit, get their feet
Mix
wet.
it up a bit, sure.
Yeah. So it sounds like he said he was available Wednesday, so I'm hoping that the time works. We didn't work out the time yet, but Wednesday he's available, and I'm available Wednesday. So anyway, Gazar says heat shortage storage in the sea is worse than land storage. Yeah, I don't want oceans getting any warmer this year. Could be a disaster. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. I mean, I kind of thought that the heat was stored in the water. I don't know, but I could be wrong. I'm not fucking. I mean, I had a scientist on here, Jim Massa, and he recently interviewed with Sandy, but we had some disagreements, and he hasn't come back on since. But anyway, it was over something really stupid too. It was all about whether or not you had to pay back the stimulus check. It was all over that. It's like, that's just a stupid thing to argue about. It really is. But anyway, people are people. They do what they do. Oh, Lightning Rod's here. Doom, I'm excited, is the most exciting time on Earth ever. I feel like a god. Torstein, I had to wade the waters barefoot today. Got stranded by the high tide. Oh, you be careful, Torstein. You be careful. You scare me when you're on. He has a paddle board, and he's going through all this icy stuff. And if you fell off of that paddle board with all that icy water, you would die. And here he is paddling along in Greenland, ice all around. He's just like chilling. It's all good. You crazy bastard.
He doesn't feel it. If you live up there, you don't feel it as much.
Yeah, but he would if he fell in that cold water.
Well, there's always hypothermia, yeah, but he knows what he's doing.
I hope so. I mean, I guess people would think the same thing about me when I jump on a horse for the first time, and train a green horse or whatever. Probably maybe people think I'm crazy. I've gotten hurt several times doing it, but I've done it. Some people would never do that. So I guess that's kind of the same thing. Anthony Davis is here. Let's see, because ours is both land and sea. I guess it all hides or holds heat in. I mean, there's just so much. They were talking all over the news the last couple of days about the ozone being really bad. Like, so the ozone is really close to the surface because of what's going on with the temperature and all that. And so it's super unhealthy for people with conditions like me. If you have a heart condition, don't be outside. Try to make me stay inside. Just try. It's not going to work.
Right.
I hate being inside, especially in the summer. I want to be outside. We have lots of shade and that, and I stay in the shade. So I can't stay inside. I will pull my hair out if you try to make me stay inside in the summer. That's just the way it is. Anyway. You fell off it while filming for YouTube? Seriously, Torstein? And you have not died? Wow. He actually fell off his paddleboard while filming. Oh my god, that's scary. Oh, Okay, if you guys, please help me read comments. Are you guys following comments? Come on. Come on. Raza says, I want to live until I'm old. You can just talk. You don't have to. I want to live till I'm old, but I'm not going to. Get the med kit. My wife has a heart condition, and yet she tested negative for COVID-19. Yeah, I'm probably. I just got tested. I don't know. Thursday, I had to go get tested before they do that procedure where they have to put a tube, I don't know, into my vein and down into my heart.
Oh, the PICC line? Is that what they call that?
They call it a right and left heart catheterization, which scares the shit out of me when they're sticking a tube into my heart. It's like, really? So scary, but they made me do the COVID test. That is so uncomfortable. Them sticking that swab up your nose. It hurts so bad. And last time they only did it on one side. This time they did both sides, so I had to have it done twice. Oh my God, it was awful. That is the worst. Oh, sorry, but it was just nasty. I'm glad your wife tested negative. But, you know, those tests aren't very accurate.
I was going to ask about that.
I mean,
I've heard that they're not. I don't know.
There's like a 40% chance of them being inaccurate.
I can't trust anything I hear.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, we can't trust our media to tell us the truth anyway.
No.
But when my husband was sick and he tested, they didn't have COVID tests available, but he tested negative for the flu A and B and negative for strep, but he had serious flu symptoms. And then a week later, I was sick the same way, but only for a day, and then I was done. And then I got tested for COVID. But first, they had to test me for flu A and B and strep, and I was negative for that. But they tested me, and I was negative for COVID. But my nose is really dry, and they only did the one side, so now I'm wondering if they should have done both sides. And I have sinus issues, so it's either really dry or really my nose runs like crazy. It's one or the other, not ever the both. So, how scary and invasive is just, yeah, it's invasive, sticking a swab up your nose. It's icky. Channel War, I love Channel Warhorse, because, you know, I'm a horse person. I don't know if you can tell that I love horses or anything. There's only like horse pictures everywhere. So Warhorse, I love that movie, only I felt bad for the horse putting it in that kind of situation. But anyway, that was pretty cool. All right, what now? I forgot what I lost my place. Make big gravity engine. Wait, be a king of energy for London. You know what? We don't need more energy. What we need is less use of energy. Because if we had more energy, we would destroy more of what we have left faster. So I kind of...
Well, it depends on where the energy is coming from, though.
Do you think?
Yeah.
You don't think we would use that energy to destroy more things? Because it would actually facilitate more people having more babies, which would require more housing, which requires more destruction of the forest.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think people
more
need to
energy
think
isn't necessarily a good thing. Yeah.
We need to just learn to live with less, and we need to reduce our population. And it's not a very popular point, but it's true. We can't grow trees fast enough to keep up with our population to build them houses.
Right.
There's a problem there, let alone the energy use. That's just building a house. All these tree planting things, like, yay, great for the environment, plant a tree. It would take 40, 50, 60 years for that tree to grow up enough to build a house. And probably before that happens, they'll chop it down for firewood. Probably. So I don't think that's a solution. I don't know. And it's heartbreaking. Gazar says, her test can show positive on a recent cold. That's interesting. Yeah, I've seen like a thing where nurses sent in 2 swabs that were like they didn't even use them. They were just blank. They just put them in the thing and sent them off to be tested, and both of them came back positive. And this is a thing where I think the government is screwing with people because they will show more positive tests just so they can get more funding for the emergency. So I think that kind of stuff is going on. And I think it also goes the other way where you have false negatives. I think it goes both ways. But
Yeah, the tests aren't perfect yet.
no.
We're doing fairly well right now. There's only been a couple of deaths in Ontario today. I think we're down to a reasonable level. They're reopening things slowly, but there's still we have to wear a mask in public and still observe the social distancing thing. So it hasn't been like going out of control like it is down there. But you've got so many people down there that just will not cooperate. That I think you're gonna have a lot more cases. And if they open the schools, which they're planning to do, and I don't get that at all. And none of these politicians, I mean, Donald Trump's son doesn't go to a public school, right? You know, I mean, he's even.
Well, they're using this to push the private school thing. That's where they're saying that they will not fund schools that don't open.
Right.
So then they're going to take all the funding away from the public schools and give it to the private schools. Perfect.
That's the entire.
use
That's the entire.
of a
Unbelievable.
crisis.
That is
like-
the entire point.
Never let a good crisis go to waste. Use it for your advantage to get your agenda through.
Well, I
if
mean,
people don't
DeVos is a monster. Honestly, I can't even look at that woman.
I
She
can't
is
stand
so
her.
horrible.
I can't stand her. And here, you go anywhere, and it's like the few times I've left the house, which is only to go to the doctor, nobody is wearing a freaking mask. Nobody. It's like, what's wrong with you people? Are you gonna get me sick? Oh my
So
god.
there's no law. There's no law where you are to wear a mask at all.
No, in
Because
fact,
here
the doctor I went to said we can't force people to wear a mask.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
like-
where I am, you can't go to any enclosed space like a store or anything. They won't let you in without a mask. So
No problem
and-
here.
and-
You don't have to wear a mask. You can go in. They restrict how many people go in, but you can go in without a mask. Don Hooligan's here. Yay, like button. Thank you, Don. Love you much. They're forcing my sister back to work at the school in Indianapolis with all them little sick bad kids. I mean, kids spread germs like crazy. Even if they don't get as sick as adults, doesn't mean they can't bring the sickness back to people who can get sick. And I'm gonna have my grandkids over here, but they've been isolated. They haven't been around anybody. And my son and daughter-in-law, they've just stayed at home. So I know that they're safe. And then my grandkids are gonna come here. They want them to learn how to work on a farm. They gotta learn how to shovel poop and garden and stuff. So that's gonna be fun to have those kiddos. But yeah, they won't put them back in school. They're gonna do homeschooling. They refuse to, and I'm happy. I don't want to see my kids. The kids that do get sick, they get really, really, really sick. And
Yeah.
they have the crazy vascular issues, like insane vascular issues. So my motherly instinct, not that I'm not motherly, because I'm really not, is like, screw you. I'm not doing it. I wouldn't take that chance. Hi, lightning round. LOL, savages. Who's the savages? Okay, you guys aren't helping me read comments, damn it.
Oh, whoops, I'll do that.
Well, help me out, Kelly.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at something too, so I'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
we
getting
could-
sore and tired and not focused that's just part of my thing. So
How long you all think we have until masses start moving due to weather, like moving north or away from coast? I think that's already happening.
yeah, I agree.
I think that's already happening.
Agree. That's happening. There's also
Yeah, that's
there's
already starting to happen.
already mass migration due to climate change.
Yeah, the migrations are already starting to happen.
Absolutely.
Well, in Canada, we've had a problem with Americans coming up because the border is closed, and there is a loophole saying they're going through Canada to go to Alaska, but then they don't go to Alaska. And some of them have actually been arrested. And in BC, we have boaters going through. A lot of American boaters turn off their communications devices, and they can't be seen. And they come into Canada, and they're going to visit like isolated Indigenous towns where the COVID thing has not happened at all. And it's scary. I mean, we don't want people coming up here right now because we've managed to sort of get it under control, at least a lot more than in the States.
They actually had a news story about that in the U.S. that I think it's on the Sunday morning show on CBS, and they were showing like couples that can't get together, like they'll meet at the border to talk, or friends and family, they'll like bring chairs and sit just on the borderline and talk. Isn't that's what this whole story was about. It was kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Americans can't travel anywhere now. Very few countries that will allow it now.
Why would they allow it? I mean, our country is stupid. We're the worst leader in this crisis you could even imagine. He's not a leader, he's just a moron. Azar says COVID can lead to premature cardiac problems and other circulatory issues, microthrombosis, etc. Yeah, and I was actually talking to my cardiologist about that, and he hasn't read any of the research on it, but I informed him, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's interesting." And then when he sent me my lab order to get this test I have to have for my heart, he said he pretty much said possibly caused by COVID, complication of possible COVID. So,
well, they say everybody that's recovered, actually they're finding heart damage in
like
every single
54% of possible, like assumed or verified, have heart damage after they recovered. 54%.
My Canadian grandfather, actually, I know he had a murmur, and it was from having rheumatic fever as a kid. So those things, viruses have caused that for a long time. But that is kind of scary. You think I saw something about neurological issues.
Yeah, the neurological where you get the rashes.
But they don't.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, and mostly the kids are getting those kind of effects from it. But it's way worse than I think people are thinking it is. Oh my gosh, Blake TV, I invited you, dude. You're more than welcome to join it, but we're almost done because I can't really handle much more. My foot is swelling up by the minute. I'm sitting here, and it's from the heart condition.
Yikes!
I have cankles.
That does not sound good.
You have cankles.
Cankles. Sad.
Well, you can retain water if that's going on, or a
my
kidney
foot
thing.
looks fat. Okay, don't look at the back of the room because I was looking for stuff. Okay, but look how fat my foot is.
Yeah, that's not good.
That does not look good.
That's not cool. Yeah,
I had that happen at the end of.
Don't look at my messy room. It's just I've been trying to find crap and tore through because I couldn't find my insurance card, my HSA card, and I had some mail that looked like junk mail, and I just stuffed it in a bag. Like, oh my god, what if it's there? I found it. It was in there, but I tore everything apart. It was such a mess, and it's still a mess.
Sometime, maybe not on the air, unless you're just comfortable with that. But I would like to talk to you more about, because we were talking about autoimmune conditions and how many people have those. I'm just curious, more like details, but I don't want to make you talk about that a lot. Well, maybe sometime off the air.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So my husband he was poking his head in to say goodnight.
Like, I wonder if we really, I mean, I think we do have a higher rate of autoimmune diseases, but it's also that we know about them, right? I mean, they've
Right.
been around for a long time.
But
so.
also, I think a lot of them are caused by chemicals.
Yeah.
Herbicides and insecticides, there's a connection there. And
viruses.
And viruses. But where I worked in garden sections, like I've done garden areas, like working with insecticides and herbicides and all that for a very long time. And I've had it all over me. And where the rest of my family, nobody has an autoimmune disorder. I'm thinking that might be the cause. Very possible.
Roundup?
Yeah.
You didn't get Roundup on you, did you?
Oh hell, I practically bathed in Roundup. You know, because
boy,
it was there. I mean, and you don't realize a bottle has a leak in it, and you're putting it up on the shelf. I mean, not that was my product to take care of, but you know, sometimes you end up moving the competitor's product, and I had it all over me. And well, I worked for Lowe's too, and I was in charge of the garden department, so I had to work with it then too. So multiple times I've had Roundup spilled all over me, and other chemicals, malathion, diazinon, God, you name it. You know, I've had it spill on me. So who knows? I don't know.
maybe you could get in on that lawsuit against Monsanto.
Well, yeah, but I don't have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is I haven't. They're hiding that. Okay, Dee Dee sent me that. Looks like when I had a blood clot in my leg. Oh no. Okay, that scares me. Dee Dee, that really scares me, because I got bit by my dog. I showed up my last video. It's pretty much healed, but there's still lumps in it, and it's the same leg, and the other foot isn't that swollen. But I got bit up by the knee. So that wouldn't be it, Dee Dee, would it? Would it? Please call your doctor about your foot. Okay. I will. I'll call my doctor. Chris, you maybe do for open heart surgery soon. Oh. That's not okay. Okay. See, guys, I already had stress.
Don't worry.
Freaking out even more.
Don't worry.
I had really high blood pressure this morning. I had an issue. Long story like my daughter had a friend come over and help her with the horse that I gave her, and I did not appreciate the way she was teaching her something, kind of going counter to my training, and would mess her up. And for some reason that just bothers me, like irks me to no end, and I kind of blew up because my horses are my babies, you know.
Yeah.
Have you got hypertension too, Chris?
Yes, I have pulmonary hypertension and regular old hypertension, but they don't know if I have pulmonary arterial hypertension or regular pulmonary hypertension.
So are you on blood pressure pills?
I am on 2 different meds for my heart, a statin and 3 actually, if you could count the low dose aspirin. So
I suffer from high blood pressure, so if I'm not on my meds, it goes off the charts. So that's something that I have to watch out for.
well, I'm on my meds, but it's only the 1 foot though. If it was, wouldn't it be both feet if it was from the heart? No, Dee Dee something has me all freak out now. Have they give you diuretics?
There's a number
for
of
water
things it
retention?
could be.
No, they have not gave me diuretics yet. I think they want to find out whether or not I have pulmonary arterial or just regular pulmonary hypertension. So, oh my God. Val, hi Val. Val couldn't make it. He has shit going on. So, but at least he made it into the chat for a minute. Could be a lot of things, yeah. I don't know, but all I know is I'm very uncomfortable all the time. I have a really hard time sleeping, and now my foot is puffing up like crazy. It's like twice the size that it was this morning.
Are you on it a lot today?
No, like on and off. Like I can do things like 10 minutes at a time. Like go water, go do other stuff.
Well, it's just weird how autoimmune diseases work. There seems to be, well, I mean, I know that stress can cause, because something, stress hormones can cause it to flare up, but it's also just kind of random sometimes. You don't know what the trigger is. They kind of go in and out, right? Haven't you experienced that? Like you can be fine for a long
you'll be
time
fine for, you could be fine for weeks. And like, all's good. And then suddenly you'll wake up in the morning and you feel like you're going to die. Like you can't move. It's so horrible. Like this morning I had to use a cane to walk into the kitchen, get my coffee that I have to make the day before because my hands don't work in the morning at all. They don't work. I mean, I try to get a glass of water in the morning and I have to use two hands. Well, I broke a glass because I tried to hold it in one hand and it just flopped right out. My hands don't work in the morning. They just don't work.
Well, you look like perfectly healthy. Isn't that the funny thing that a lot of times?
That's why they say it's a hidden disease. Scleroderma
exactly.
can be a hidden disease. Is a connective tissue disorder. A lot of time lupus can be a hidden disease. There's a lot of things that you can't just tell you're sick, but you really are.
There's someone I follow on Instagram. I think the page is "But You Don't Look Sick," and it just talks about this kind of stuff all the time for people that have autoimmune or other conditions that are kind of hidden disabilities. Because people don't realize especially when you get used to putting on a good act or whatever.
And I've done that a lot. I'm like, I'm fine. As I'm grimacing. Trying to walk faster than everybody else. I'm good. And no, I'm not good. I haven't been good for a long time, but fake it till you make it. But it only gets worse. You never make it. Oh my gosh. Okay, how they give you direct? Well, okay, I think I missed some. I paused. Compression socks says Raza. Hi, Raza. Why aren't you just talking? You're there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
That ankle does not look healthy. I know, it's not my normal ankle. It's so weird. But the other one, would they be the same? Because my other ankle isn't that fat. It's a little fatter than normal, but not like that one. Okay, let me show you. I'll show you both of them. So, about my messy room. But see, the one is this one.
Well, you got a
is
nice
way worse
pedicure.
than this one. Well, not really. I need a touch up. But like this one's super fat. This one's not. And this is my bad foot. Like that's the one that I broke. I had a Liz Frank fracture and I've had all kinds of issues with that foot.
Actually, gout can do that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's a possibility, but my mother years ago had gout, and her foot would swell up like that when she had attacks of it. So
or pseudo gout, which can happen in scleroderma.
Oh.
There's something called pseudo gout. It's like calcium buildup.
Oh, okay.
That happens all the time in scleroderma. It's just a weird disease. It really is. You never know how everybody is different. It's like there's no easy cut and dry case. But we weren't here to talk about me, people. Oh my God.
Well, it's a public health problem. Seriously, the numbers of autoimmune conditions, I think, is really, really kind of alarming. So
It kind of is. It's kind of crazy.
you're informing everybody.
Oh, Mark Roche, love you too. Jill Love left is swollen but can't see an ankle. on either. Yeah, I mean they're both kind of swollen, but the left is. Wait, no. The right one is more swollen than the left. This right, left. I don't know if it's backwards where you see it, guys. Don Hogan looks like you smashed your big toes. Nope, that's my big toes are good. I don't know. Didn't smash them. I did smash the two toes on the other side. My big toe, the 3 toes on the other. I broke all 3 of those. Not very long ago. Not my big toe.
Hey, turmeric, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I got some of that powder and I put it in ginger tea, the turmeric.
Oh, turmeric.
It's
Turmeric.
anti-inflammatory.
I take turmeric every day in my coffee. So.
Oh, you
turmeric
put it
is-
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of a turmeric latte.
Oh yeah.
You ever-
Yeah. I've made turmeric latte. Turmeric is actually very tasty. If you put it in like milk or almond milk or whatever, put some cinnamon and clove and ginger and stevia or whatever kind of sugar substitute you like, whichever one you like. It's actually pretty tasty and comforting. So
I don't think leeches are a good idea.
No. Gauze in the mix, yeah. Pseudo gout or possibly
Yeah, or
psychosomatic.
bleaches. No bleaches, no leeches.
No. Muscle mass compared to rest-form electrical conductivity. I'm not sure I understand you.
I have a question about for Raza in London. What's the situation there as far as your level of things being open? Are people out and about, but they're just wearing masks and being careful, or are people pretty much staying in still over there?
No, it's getting back to normal in some ways. Everybody is, out doing stuff now. The restaurants are open, the shops are open. You do have to wear a mask, either on public transport or going to an office or a shop. Obviously, you wouldn't have to wear a mask in a restaurant unless you were having soup, with a straw maybe,
Yeah. Well, with it being summer, you can eat outside.
Gazar, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to black pepper. You've said that to me more than once, so sorry. I just gotta reiterate. I'm allergic to black pepper. I can use red pepper, not black pepper. Sorry, I had to do that. I need to take a break though. If you guys want to read, Kelly, please take over for me and read comments and chat amongst you guys.
Sure,
While I
do
take
that.
a little bit of a. I need to move around because otherwise
Sure.
I will
No problem.
not. I will be so gelled
Okay.
up. I can't
Well,
deal. Crap.
Snork, aka Mitch, says grapefruit sensitivity. Drink any pink lemonade? No.
Okay. I'll be back.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. All right. What topic should we go into, guys? Well, I was going to say something about COVID that I brought up last time. I'm still having trouble finding updated data on this. Is the death rate among different age groups? So we keep the report on the the testing, the infection rate among age groups, but not the deaths. And I just think that's really important to know
Yeah.
because not to say that older populations, it doesn't matter, but if it's killing 10-year-olds on a regular basis, that's a lot scarier to me rather than, you could sort of keep kids away from grandparents and stuff to keep, people that are
Right.
most at risk. So it's just something I've been thinking about because, obviously we need to be careful, but, are we over panicking a bit because, what's the cost to society of doing that, business losses and all of that, if the actual death rate is pretty low. And the last thing I saw, it was only updated like a month ago, but so there's nothing new now, but let's see, it collects data from the CDC, but it's the American Council on Science and Health. And it said that it has it broken down up until June, February to June, of the death rate, and then the IFR, which is Okay, infection fatality rate. Like, if you get it by different age groups, what is your actual, likelihood you're going to die from it? So it was, let's see, so 65 years and over, it was 5.6%, which is kind of scary. But then in like 20 to 49 years, it was 0.0092%. 50 to 64.14. And then kids, it's like almost non-existent. So it just kind of made me wonder if are we overreacting a little bit to it? And I'm not, I absolutely believe it's a real thing. And I think we need to be cautious. I just wonder, if people are getting sick, but they're not dying, well, then that's good. We're building immunity, right? I think. I don't know. Anybody else know of, or paying attention to that particular data? No, they're just not reporting on it in that way.
I'm interested to know the effects on small businesses, and they are going to be hit harder and absorbed by more monopolistic, huge, like restaurants, for example. The only ones that are going to survive are the big chain restaurants.
Right.
The mom and top businesses are all going down the tubes. And this is kind of interesting because there's been a consolidation all along of like large businesses taking over everything, and I think you're going to see more monopolistic behavior from corporations coming out of this, and it's going to be really hard for any small business to survive it. And certainly the unemployment from it, I guess, is going to be enormous, in both in Canada and the U.S. Here we have small business owners hanging on by their fingernails, and the government is doing a little bit to help them, but primarily the big money goes to the oil companies. It goes to, you've got the same problem here as you do down there. The large corporations are getting bailed out, and the small businesses are just like, well, to hell with you, Jack, right? So we've got that problem right now, but hopefully it'll change a little bit. But I don't know. I just think we're going to end up with soon one corporation will own everything in the world. It's all going to be like a Zuckerberg or Bezos or somebody like that is going to own everything if this keeps up. It's just craziness. There's no antitrust legislation coming up, and they were talking to the tech giants. Were in front of Congress, and there doesn't seem like they're going to do anything about this. And it's again, it goes back to they're the donor class, right? They're the ones that are giving all the money to the politicians. So competition be damned. Google, Amazon, Apple, all those companies are enormous now, and there's no room for any competition anymore. So I think in that way, capitalism is basically screwing itself. It's eating itself, because I just can't see it being any different than like in the old Soviet Union when the government owned everything. Well, now it'll be the corporation owns everything. There's a mirror image of like extreme communism, and it's identical. The effects are identical, really. Is that one entity owns everything, and that's kind of got me up.
Concentration of wealth and power. It works out the same way either way.
Yeah, exactly.
And for all the regular people, I mean, it's like any crisis. I mean, if you're in a good position, you're going to weather the storm. If you're not, I mean, you're just kind of SOL. It's really terrible. I don't know. And I also think a lot about the, psychological effects I've got a almost 16-year-old, and there was a little short film I ran across. Someone posted it on Facebook, but it was a teenager, had probably about 14, had made this video, and she's just sitting in her room on her bed with her computer, and she's just kind of staring out the window and looking around, and then it speeds up. It was very well done, and it shows her cycling through, like, maybe she's got like 5 different outfits that she's wearing, t-shirts, and it's on repeat over and over, and she's staring at her her computer screen and her online assignments, and then she's just sitting there, and it keeps cycling through, and then at the end she's just like, it's the silent scream, like, get me the hell out of here. Like, so like that long term for kids being locked in, I just think, I don't know. I mean, it's just it's a tough one, because yeah, we don't want people dying from this. We've got to control it, but the price.
Yeah, and mental health outcome isn't good either. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be long term. Actually, my daughter said, when I'm old, kids are going to be doing history projects on the pandemic of 2020. You know, they'll be asking me what happened. You know.
Yeah.
Like my
It
grandma
might
used to
be
talk about
a lot
Great
worse
Depression.
by the time she's 20, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's true too.
This is there may be other pandemics on the horizon. There may be,
Yeah.
there's just any way you look at it, there's so
Yeah.
many things that are going to get us one way or another. We're, you know, that's if we don't have a nuclear war in the meantime. You know, I mean, there's so many things. When I was young, my big fear was a nuclear war. I don't know if you remember how, you know,
Yeah, I was a child of the 80s. The Red
Nah.
Scare.
But you know, now it's the climate change is going to get you if the nuclear weapons don't, and if that doesn't get you, I mean,
It'll
there's
be
just
a virus
so many
or a
a
catastrophe.
virus. There's just so many things that anyway these kids turn, they're not stupid. They're looking at their future, and
That's
they're,
what I'm
they're
saying.
going,
Don't
"Yeah,
have
we're
kids. Like,
Mm.
somebody who like
Yeah.
wants to have kids right now should really stop and think.
I agree.
I feel bad about what my grandkids are looking forward to. I feel bad about what my own kids that are in their 20s and 30s now are looking at. I'm terrified for them. If you bring a child into this world, you're freaking crazy. You're nuts. Because it's not going to be pretty. We're going to have water shortages. We're going to have food shortages. And any schooling right now shouldn't be academic. It should be about how to survive and how to grow your own food. That is what the schooling should be. Not mathematics, engineering, and how to fuck up the world even more. I'm sorry that I just, maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I'm just me.
You
This
know,
is just
also
me.
when you're young, you know, social life is really, really important. And now we're all divided by screens. There's no face-to-face time. I mean, we're having a nice discussion here and everything.
Yeah,
but
This is the
this is
closest we
not
can
the
get.
same as
This
yeah,
is
it's not the same as sitting around a table and having a coffee or a beer.
around a
just-
campfire.
Yeah, but I mean, especially for young people, that must be incredibly difficult.
I don't know. I've tried to encourage my daughter to I'm like, use my Zoom account, get your friends
Right.
on and talk, because I think it's good. I mean, for me, you know, I was kind of housebound for quite a long time with my spinal fluid leaks, and doing this and the political activism work and stuff and just connecting with people this way was really good for me. So
Yeah.
I think
Good for
you
me
would
too.
benefit
I haven't
from
left
that.
my house except for to go to the doctor since the middle of March. So
Wow.
this
Yeah.
is my social
But they
interaction.
don't do that. They do TikTok and that kind of thing. They're not going to, I guess, sit like we would and do this. They have to do it they have to be in person. So I don't know. But I think it could be beneficial. I've heard of people having, you know,
It is for
board
me.
game- yeah, or having cocktail hour like this. I mean, I guess it's why Zoom is running slower these days. Everyone's on it now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been pretty lucky.
But I mean, imagine if we didn't have this during all of this.
I
mean,
know. I would. I don't know. I guess I would just develop better relationship with my horses and my dogs, which I have done actually. I've spent a lot of time with my dogs. My little Tuffy is like, he's outside right now, but he's been by my side wherever I go, and I used to not be able to trust him off a leash, but now he's a little Velcro dog, always with me, and.
Well, you live far from like a town or city? Where
No,
you are?
I'm in a small town, and
Oh, okay.
our street in front of the house is pretty busy, In fact, it pisses me off. I can't stand sitting out front because I see the cars racing by. I'm like, that's not 25 miles an hour, you asshole. Anyway, people speed by all the time. And I hate sitting up front. It just raises my blood pressure, like, horrendously. But the back, it's all country. Like, all I see is a mountain, pastures, and then a mountain. That's my backyard. Front yard is a freaking street where people are racing up and down it constantly. So, yeah, I don't know. Where
Well, but the isolation when I used to live way out in the country, and it was
I loved
you're
it.
dealing with
I'm not far enough in the country. If I was far enough in the country, I could hop on my horse and go to the top of a mountain and just breathe and be thankful to be there. I'm not that close to the mountain. Not close enough to the mountain. I need that. I need that closeness. I haven't been able to go camping because everybody and their freaking dog literally is going to all the campsites everywhere and littering and messing them up and just overcrowding them. I can't get away from people to save my life, and literally I need that to save my life. It's just a mess.
So it's kind of a red district where you are too.
Oh yeah,
right?
Utah is so red. Yeah, red state.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Trump flags all over the freaking place here. Like they're all go Trump, Trump, Trump. Not that I care. I don't think Biden's gonna fix anything. But
No.
I don't even fucking care about the general election at this point. I don't care. Either way, we're fucked.
It's a farce.
Yeah. Your vote doesn't count. There are other entities that are actually running what happens in the country. President means nothing, just a puppet. And if he does what the corporations want him to do, they'll pay him off big time after. And I'm running out of breath. I got
Don't get too pissed off.
I know. Hell is other people. You're right. You're right. Hell is other people.
I know, but what about these kids that like you go out on dates when you're a teenager? You go to the dance and
And they're not able
build
to
all
do
those
that.
memories.
That's gotta suck for those kids.
Yeah.
It's gotta
really
suck.
And are people,
Vanessa
young
Kitty.
people, are they going to be more socially just unable to deal with dealing with regular people if this whole pandemic thing ends and everything? Is it going to affect their lives? Like, say it goes on another couple of years, which it could easily do.
Or it could not stop. It could just not stop. It
could. That's the nightmare scenario. Yeah.
It could be something and then something else and something else.
The virus will keep mutating, right?
Yeah, or
I've heard
there could be a new virus. They're finding the plague is coming up now. And, I mean, then there's the catastrophes that cause people to go into shelter, the big shelter places they have for catastrophes, and that's going to just make it spread further. And there's those things happening right now, too, which I predicted was going to happen on top of the COVID. Suddenly you have to force a whole bunch of people to go to evacuation centers. And yeah, I mean, they're like, okay, well, you have to wear your mask except for when you're sleeping or eating. Really? That's going to stop the spread? It's like, I don't think so. Whatever rocks your boat, I guess. I mean, this sucks really bad, and I feel bad for all these people, and it's so messed up. It's and then the ice is disappearing.
I'm a
Torstein
boomer, and I feel like I'm a boomer, and I feel guilty. Although I'm not personally responsible, but I feel guilty for having lived the way that I have.
As
for most
Gen
of my
X,
life.
I'm Gen X, and I feel guilty for the way I've lived my life.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
I always loved fast cars and stuff when I was young, and I burned up fossil fuel without thinking about it.
I love my CJ5 that I took all over the mountains, but I did love my horses too. Mm-hmm. And I rode horses more than I drove and we had a 4-wheeler too. So yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty as the next guy. In our generation. But
So a lot of those kids really hate our generation, particularly boomers, and they sort of assume that we're all like right wing nutcases. And I think there's been this very this tendency to lump generations together, and
There are. I'd like to think I was a
there's
hippie, but I've been told that I don't fit because I haven't done, what do you call it, psychedelics more than once or something like that. I've only done it once and it was snuck into my drink. So I guess I don't fit.
that wouldn't well. That's just as well. You're not missing anything. I did a lot of that stuff when I was young, and it probably didn't do me any favors. It didn't really harm me in the sense that I didn't come out of it with brain damage or something. But I probably did that stuff when I was way too young to be able to handle the emotional repercussions of it, because I was doing a lot of acid and in the 70s, and we would do it just as a good time, have a good time. And I probably took psychedelics 200 or 300 times in my life. And
well, I had an uncle that did LSD like a lot, and it's kind of funny being in Utah. LSD. I don't know. Anyway, LDS family. But anyway, he took LSD a lot, and it really messed him up. Like, he was,
it can.
He was so not normal. He was childlike. That's the only way I can describe him. Childlike.
I think
his whole entire
some
life.
people aren't able to emotionally handle it, and I've known people that I knew back then that were never the same after doing a lot of that. So
I hear LDS does the same thing. Sorry, I have to make Mormon jokes every chance I get. I'm sorry if any of you are Mormon.
About magic underwear?
Huh?
Magic underwear?
Yeah, there's magic underwear.
Oh.
Yeah. Of course, there's magic underwear. I never was lucky enough to get. I've never been baptized, so I never got the magic underwear. but I hear it exists. So no Mormons ever die that wear the magic underwear.
Oh.
I guess.
So
the ones that have died, they weren't wearing their magic underwear, I guess. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know. It's supposed to
They have huge families too, don't they? They have like
as many children as you can have. Like the more children you have, the more blessed you are.
And you don't see polygamy down there anymore, do you? Or is that so? I mean, I heard about Warren Jeffs and all that sort of thing. We had a cult in Canada that was
still polygamous. Yeah, they're still polygamous.
Yeah, it's not some old guy with marrying 12-year-old kids, and unbelievable. I don't know where religions are the weirdest things,
They really are. No, my son-in-law is from the LeBaron family, kind of a popular clan, like well-known clan of polygamists. His family was all he's not. He better not be. He's with my daughter. Kick his ass. But his family is. And I was raised around the Kelches, the Ewings, the Zittings, up near Park City. This place called Silver Creek Junction. There's probably like 20 houses all around us that were all polygamous houses. Like every wife had their own house, and each the husband had like 3 wives or more, and then each wife had like 10 kids, and I was friends with some of the kids. They were cool polygamists though. They had like poker parties and moonshine parties, and I used to ride my horse up to their house to party and get too freaking drunk to ride back. And I just let my horse go back, and I would just stumble down the hill to the house. True story. Okay, that was my childhood. I'm sorry. I was such a partier as a kid. And I partied with polygamists.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Big love. Huh?
Yeah.
I
Not,
can see it from the man's point of view. I don't see what the women get out of it. Though,
you know what? No, I actually kind of can
Yeah,
understand
I do.
because men are so
Have you-
needy. It would be nice to divide up the responsibilities.
That's what I was gonna say.
Men are kind of needy.
Okay.
They kind of are. So
Well,
I can see
have
it.
you-
I would be fine. It's like, you want another wife? I'll work with you. Just
well,
I mean,
I don't think my wife would go for it somehow.
no, but I think it's just their culture. I mean, have you seen some of these men? I'm sorry, but no, they're like, sure, you have him.
I know. Go ahead.
That's probably a good point.
I used to drive carriages in downtown Salt Lake around the temple, the Mormon temple, right?
Oh yeah.
The big Salt Lake City Mormon temple.
Yeah.
So I would tell jokes about the Mormons. I had all kinds of jokes about the Mormons, and one of them was about Brigham Young or Jonathan Smith, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, how would they had like 13 wives? How did he know who he spent the night with? Well, he'd put an X on the door of the woman he was going to spend the night with, and most of them would like take it off and put it on the other door because they didn't want. Oh, I know.
Bad.
It was. I made really bad Mormon jokes, like while I was giving carriage rides. Remember horse-drawn carriage, right? telling all these tourists these stories about Mormons, hoping to God they weren't Mormon. It was good times though. Good times. Oh God. Anyway, I'm sore and tired. It was so much fun hanging out with you guys. And all you
Yeah, this was
guys
good.
in the chat. Keith Hayes.
I hope you feel better, Christine.
I'm hoping.
Maybe
Yeah,
stay
we'll
off.
all send you healing vibes and get
Yes.
hopefully it'll bring the swelling down.
Yes. I'm kind of worried about what Dee Dee Sunbeam said about that's what her foot looked like with the blood clot since I got bit by a dog on that leg.
You
No,
better get it checked out.
Now I'm
Yeah,
kind
that'd
of
be a good idea.
freaking out about it. Like, it wasn't his fault. It was
How's the dog? How's the dog? Is the dog okay?
the dog's fine. It's just
Okay.
he's afraid of four-wheelers. He like wants to attack them. And so I was trying to get him used to it, and so I started the four-wheeler and he went to go for the four-wheeler, but my leg was there instead. So
Nighty night.
all right, good night. Thank you, Kelly. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Okay.
Good night, Chris.
Good night, guys.
Good to see everybody.
Very good to see you, Veg. Thank you for coming. Always love it when you're here. And,
thanks for having
me. Brian just left, and Raza, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate.
I just came by to say hi anyway.
Well, I appreciate y'all coming because it's kind of fun, and I am going to cut this out soon. But thanks, Don Hooligan, Kelly Lane, Vanessa Kitty, Channel Warhorse, Dee Dee Sunbeam. The test at ER, I had to see it. If it was a blood clot, it was really simple, no pain, just a sonogram or something. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. If you think it's a blood clot, I really want to know. I mean, could it be caused by the dog bite? I have no clue. It looked like it. Good night, Torstein. Good night, Kim. Good night, Czar. Night, Vanessa Kitty. Vanessa Kitty, did I say that? Jilly Love. Take care, too. Going south to Norway next week. Oh, nice, Torstein. Have a safe trip. Okay. I love you guys. Dee Dee, I'm definitely going to talk to my doctor in the morning. Thanks, Veg. I love you so much. It is so cool to have you here. I'm transitioning out. People will probably still hear us, but love you guys. Have a very good night.
Take care.
Okay, they're probably still hear us because my sounds are all messed up, but I love you guys. They can't see us, but they can probably hear us. It's very likely. Good night, guys. Jilly Love. Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to end this stream. Alright. That's it. Okay, got it. Stream ended. Yes, I want to end the stream. Thank you very much.